Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Asrafiah Pramono and today we will talk about apology. Things to know about apology. The first one is excuses or reasons. In the apology word, usually people give the reasons why they are apologizing, but some cultures see it that it's implied to give a reason for what you've just done or what you apologizing for. But in English, it's a must, and it's quiet and impolite if you don't tell, or if you don't tell your excuses. It maybe means that you bothered to answer it. But usually they ask for your excuses why you're apologizing for. And the second one is the standard for apologizing in English. There are apologizing word and then the reason and you promise. Usually if you apologizing for something, you give them the reason and promise not to do that again. It's commonly used in English. And the third is the repetition of the apology word. In English, it's but every countries have their own style for apologizing. They may be repeating the apology word, but in English, it's better to make it as less as possible to say the sorry word or the apology word. And the next thing is adverbs. Usually people use adverbs such as so and very in their apology word, but mostly so has more impact than very. The next is the stress word. It's important because if you stress it the wrong way, it maybe means different. You may be apologizing for something, but you stress it. In example, I am very sorry. It means that you don't really feel sorry about it. Also, the words that you stressed can make it sounds like you don't really apologizing for them when you stress the word wrong. The next is intonation. Intonation is important when you're apologizing because intonation can mean that you really feel sorry or not about your mistake. And it has more impact to the person that we are apologizing to. So intonation is important. The next is eye contact. Most people, usually in other culture, they are often usually keep their eye down when they are apologizing, but in English they usually ask you to lift your eye to look them in the eye when you are apologizing, to make sure that you don't lie about your apologizing, and then they know that it isn't a lie. It's usually used in American. So the next is you can use I am afraid that to begin an apology. Next is to be for apology. It's about past apology. Usually we use have. Have means that we are still feel sorry about the past mistake that we have been apologizing to the people. And was is, it means that you are not feel sorry again at the moment you talk about that. About the mistake that you have made. Have means that you still regret it until now. but was it has not the feeling for sorry at the moment talking. The next thing is the word regret. Regret is often usually mistaken for an apology word. Regret usually used to inform a bad news and usually used in written form. The next thing is excuse me. The excuse me is to get attention for people that you want to talk about something and you need an attention to people to listen to what you're saying. You would say excuse me, and excuse me is not an apology word. But in British there is exceptions for asking the attention to listen to your speech, like sorry, to avoid repetition for your word, and they will listen to you. The next thing is pardon me or I beg your pardon. It usually used when you are unfamiliar with someone you're apologizing for. And the next is the amount of apologizing itself. It may be different in every culture. Some culture may be repeating or maybe talking about sorry word too much. But in English, you just have to say apologize necessarily to the words. You don't have to repeat it like 10 times or many times. Just as necessarily you feel sorry and talk the apologize word. And then the next is the apologizing word, but without the accepting responsibility. This type of apologizing word is often used by the customer service, where the service people and the customers showing them, then the customer service will say, we feel sorry about it. It's often used in American. And the last is that we have to know that formality is important, but don't overly formal because it's old-fashioned. But once again, it depends on the culture. I think that's all for now for the apology, and see you next time. Bye bye.